something stinks in this room, and for a change, it's not me. So, one of my students needs some rope. So she went to a sex shop and they said, people who are really into rope, they like using jute. Very true. They had some which was premium, quality, been treated, all that kind of stuff. How much? £18 a length. For treated rope, that isn't terrible. It's a little bit on the higher side, but it's not terrible. My student couldn't see inside the packaging and just took them at their word that it was going to be a high quality product. I'm not saying which sex shop it is because I don't want to get into World War III with someone online. However, you've got to see this. It is, well, okay, let's look. The smell of this is ghastly. It is just, it's got like a really synthetic oil smell to it where it's making me feel pretty ill just having it like this in front of me. What's going on with the smell? Well, the vast majority of jute fibres, when they are processed, are put in what's called JBO, jute batching oil, and that's just like that's a part of the process which is pretty essential because it stops it from drying out, breaking down during transport. So why is this a rip-off? Well, it's because when you pay for treated rope, a big part of what they're doing is they're getting rid of that smell. And they're doing something like they're boiling it or they're steaming it. Sometimes they might be baking the smell out of it. And this clearly hasn't happened in this case. By comparison, the lovely Scorpion rope sent me a new set for a photo shoot I'm doing. Just doing like the old smell comparison. Like when I put this right up my nose, I can get the tiniest hint of it. You shouldn't be able to hold it here and smell it, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm getting the smallest amount from, like, shoving it up my nostril. Why else is this a rip-off? Like, what else should you be looking out for in terms of something that says it's treated rope? Back to the skanky rope again. Look, friends, how much hair is coming off this. What does that tell you? That tells me that they have not done anything to burn the hair off of it, which is again a part of the process. It's also incredibly stiff. I don't really want to hold it in my hands for too long. It's it's incredibly stiff, which means that they've not done anything to break it down or to sort of do some of that initial breaking in to make it a bit nicer on the skin. So that combination has created quite a prickly effect, which don't get me wrong, some people might like, but for most people when they're buying treated jute, they're looking for something which is a little bit softer, easier to handle, a little bit nicer. So that's the treatment side of it. What about the raw material itself? Because a lot of people say, well, jute's jute, like what's the difference? Things to look out for are, again, it's quite subtle, but you can find parts like, you can see parts like this on the rope, where the individual strands have effectively come apart. There's a dramatic difference in thickness between certain strands of the rope. So in terms of the raw material, that means that it's rope which hasn't been made particularly well. And it may be that it didn't need to be made particularly well because a lot of this shit is just used for things like washing lines and for wrapping around cat scratching posts and for garden decorations. It's not being used for bondage, so it doesn't need to be made to a particularly high standard. Let me show you a comparison. So this is a reel of Granton jute from Ronin, who's an incredible rope seller. And I bought this as a untreated reel, and you can see by comparison how much nicer these strands look. They're even, they're clean, they're clear. And this hasn't been treated. This is just, like just straight off the reel. And you can see the difference between that and the super skanky rope. Like, see how much different, how much more, how much less clean the layers. Moral of the story, if you see rope out and about, you like it, awesome, fantastic, that's great. But if you are coming across rope which is being reported as being treated rope, then you need to look out for the smell, you need to look out for the softness of the surface of the rope, how pliable it is. That will give you a hint as to whether it's been treated or not. And if it's not treated, it should be significantly cheaper, because the process of treating rope is very time consuming. It takes a lot of hours to treat a length of rope. Like this stuff from Scorpion is beautiful. It's really, really nice. You can tell someone's put a lot of love and time into this. I've already made a rope buying guide video, but if you're after jute, highly recommend Scorpion Rope, Ronin, or Anatomy Studio. Off the top of my head, I'm sure there are plenty of others that are pretty good, but they're my top 3. If you found this video useful and you want to support free high quality rope education, please check out our Patreon. Bye bye.